Greetings, everyone. I'm sorry for the delay. We're over here having some technical difficulties, but we have a very, very special guest that's going to be joining us today. Sister Lola is having some audio issues, so hopefully she'll be able to come back in with a clear audio. But in the meantime, you can go ahead and go to our social media platforms and go ahead and like them and share this live because we're going to have a dynamic show today. Let me see. Okay. Greetings, Sambo. hmm Greetings, Sambo. So I'm going to go ahead and bring our special guest in. Let me go ahead and bring her in. And without any further introduction, we have Sista, my sister in love, one of
Hello,
our
hello.
GNONA members. Oh, snap. So your audio, can you hear me clear, sis?
I can.
Okay, say something.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Okay, so those of you who are out there listening, do Sister Dr. Felicia, does she have any audio issues? Is she clear on your end or is just my end? Because Lola was just having issues with the audio. So say something, sis. Just say hello. Say greetings.
Greetings. How are you? Hello, Fambo.
It's dragging. Okay, so um Sister Antonisha. Okay, so both are clear on my end, so it must be my end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go into the show. I'm gonna just do a brief introduction, and from there you can go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know, who it is and what it is that you do because you do a lot. You wear
Yes.
many, many, many hats. So, as I said before, this is my sister-in-law. This is Chief's little sister. She is Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis, officially, but her traditional African name is Fatmata. Some of you may be familiar with Fatima or Fa for short. So she is Fatmata Mansaray. So Dr. Felicia, can you go ahead and just give our audience a brief introduction of yourself?
Hi. Yes, I am Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis. I am the biological sister of Chief Fode. Um, and we have the same mother. Just for those that may be wondering, she is so light and he is so dark. However, we have the same mother. We were born by the same mother. I am a native of York, Pennsylvania, born and raised here. Um, and my mother actually moved us here while she was yet still carrying me in the womb uh, for some medical reasons. But here we find ourselves still here in York, Pennsylvania, doing lots of work and different things. I'm also a clergy within the church, so I do preach, teach, and do different community outreach programs and things like that. I also am a master black belt. So I hold a fifth degree in Taekwondo. I know a couple of different other things as well. So before mixed martial arts came about, we were already doing the mixed martial arts. Not only that, I just formally became the city councilwoman January 4th here in York, Pennsylvania. So our family has just made history here in York, Pennsylvania, and all the way to Sierra Leone. So, and there's a lot more, but I don't want to go into all that just yet. But you'll hear a lot more about the things that I do. So I'm a local activist as well, and was very active in the George Floyd um, activism that took place across the world. But yeah, that's me. That's just a brief description of who I am. I'm 41 years old. As Sister Kenya said, I am Chief's little sister. We are 13 months apart. But many people probably would quote unquote say that we think alike, more like a twin type situation. So yeah, I'm honored to be here and looking forward to this great experience. How you doing, sis?
I'm wonderful. Can I be heard?
Yes, yes,
Okay, because my audio was terrible earlier. I apologize for my tardiness. I
it's
was
okay.
purposing to get everything together.
Yes,
All right, so Sister King is gonna come back in for a moment. So um, I just let's go ahead and get the interview started. My name is Sister Lola. This is an interview live with Dr. Felicia O. And I'm really excited to do this interview with you.
yes.
I'm a fan of your work. Congratulations.
Thank you,
Um, I've been saying it in the chat, but I want to tell you personally, congratulations on your win. This is
thank you,
excellent. This is like really one for Black history, and I'm just so excited to be
thank you
able
so
to.
much.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so let's get into the interview questions. What made you become a member of GNONA, Gullah Nation of North America?
One of the top reasons is because I actually come out of a Gullah Geechee home. So having the understanding of who I am made me want to join. Um, that was the first priority, just knowing who I was, and then secondly, um, being able to help assist Chief and Sister Kenya and yourself, Sister Lola, spread the knowledge of what Gullah Geechee is. Many people run from the word Gullah Geechee because they don't have the clear understanding of maybe possibly who they are or what it really means. So those are the two top things, and plus the third thing would be because I am 100% in support of the organization, not only the organization but who we are as Gullahs as well, and want to help and assist Chief and Sister Kenya and yourself and the other members spread this knowledge throughout the world
Right,
completely.
right. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. And you've been a part of it since I came on. So it's you've been putting in work, obviously, in so many different ways. And it's beautiful to see how everything is aligning. With what you have going on, and then also how Gullah Geechee is like so popular now,
Hmm.
but there was a time when it wasn't, and you
Right.
guys were doing this work and really laying the foundation for what we can do now. So
Hmm.
you did mention that you are Gullah Geechee. How do you know that you're Gullah Geechee, and what does that mean to you?
So one way that I know that I'm Gullah Geechee, my mother was from Orangeburg, South Carolina, um, and just the different things that we did in the house. My mom used to speak Swahili to us. She used to, speak her Gullah language in
Hmm.
home. Many people thought that was not being able to talk, not realizing that was our language and the way that
Yeah,
we communicated with one another. They thought that it was, um, ignorance, as far as if you want to quote unquote say, these people don't know how to talk, but didn't realize that no, we're talking and we're actually talking around you. So, the different things that she did, my mom was a phenomenal cook. Um, you know, um, Being able to travel down south multiple times throughout the year, not just sometime, but my mom made it her business that she took us back to where she came from and where she was born. So we will go to Orangeburg, South Carolina, Bamberg, Columbia, South Carolina, um, all down through the low country, put it like that. Because if I keep naming it, I can go on and on and on. But um, yeah, so just the different things that took place, and I'm excited about the whole Sierra Leone part, but I'm gonna slow myself down because that's gonna connect
hmm
just the experience from the in-house to then going to the motherland. But I'm gonna slow
yeah,
down, y'all, yeah.
exactly. No, it's perfect. It's perfect space. Sister Kenya, were you going to say something?
No, I'm
Okay.
just,
Okay, no,
yeah.
I just wanted to be sure. No, you're fine. Your pace is great. Because it is next. However, I do want to ask, specifically, what does it mean to you to be Gullah Geechee? What does that do for you?
It means a lot. Like I said, like, when people don't understand what Gullah Geechee is, it's easily looked down upon. But like I said, we know who we are all the way back to the 1800s. My brother is doing chief is doing a phenomenal job digging and researching. So it's one thing when you know who you are versus not knowing. I'm around some people that they may know their grandparents, meaning their parents' parents, and they may not. So it's like some of these people have never crossed the Pennsylvania state line. So it's like to be able to know who I am and be able to fully 100% represent who I am and not be ashamed that I am a Gullah Geechee, you know, that's what does it for me. So yeah,
That's
that's
true.
excited.
That's true. And it's like it's like such an empowerment to know that. And how much different is it to know that that's your root, that's your foundation, that's
Mm-hmm,
where you come from, and then you're moving out in the world. It makes it different when you move.
mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? So much more confidence that you
mm-hmm.
move with. So now we can get into that Sierra Leone bit. What does the Gullah Geechee Sierra Leonean connection mean for you?
I
And
mean,
what do you have to offer within that?
all right, so it means a lot. I had the awesome opportunity to finally get to Sierra Leone, to Africa, to the motherland, to actually set my feet, you know, on the land. Um, and by way of my brother Chief and sister Kenya, and I was there almost 30 days, man. And it was knowing that one, I'm Gullah, right? Two, being able to go to a place for almost 30 days and be able to understand the language. Might not have been able to speak it back in totality. However, with my brother speaking fluently and him, speaking some things back and forth to me when we communicate or he calls or I call him, it was for me, it was easy. I could understand, you know. And
Right.
then, you know, um, it was amazing. That's
Mm-hmm.
all I can say. The things that they show us about Africa here in America on television shows and on the news and things like that. Um, my experience wasn't like that. Um,
Right.
as a matter of fact, I was supposed to be back there in December, but this Omicron came about. We won't talk about
Understandable.
that. However, I'm planning to make way back there because it's home. It felt like
Yes.
home. I didn't feel like I was an outcast or wasn't welcome or anything like that. I literally felt like I took a trip down south and was with my people. You get what I mean?
It's interesting you say that because I felt the exact same way. As soon as I stepped off the plane, I literally was like, "This feel like Florida to me. The
Yes,
weather, the people, like this feels like Florida to me."
yes, and it was great. Um, being able to just be welcome. The name Freetown speaks for itself. The whole entire time I was there, I felt free. I felt like I had no care in the world while I was there. And they can tell you I bawled like a baby when I had to leave, but that's because I was
Yeah.
like, man, this was amazing. Um, and I wish, oh my goodness, I so wish we were much closer.
Yeah.
Um, but
Right.
they had a plan when they snatched, our ancestors from the
Yeah.
land,
Hmm.
so that they possibly could not find their way back home. But I'm grateful for the opportunity to be able to find my way back home, not only find my way back home, but have family that have been there 9 years, that have found their way back home, not only found their way back home, they found family that goes back into our lineage. And not only that, they're over there doing a mighty work within community, helping to build and also educate the people there about who we are and why we're returning.
Yes. That's so powerful. Yeah. That's real. You said that right on. It's just it's beautiful to hear like other people say the same thing I said too, like what I felt, you know what
Hmm.
I mean, when I got from Sierra Leone, and to just hear that connection that you have, and to understand how important that is, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
like for this time period, because you have a lot going on right now,
yeah.
um within the quote unquote
I
black
want to talk
community,
about
black.
that.
Go ahead.
And it's funny because I felt like before I came to Africa, there was a lot of things going on. We won't get into that, but I was asking God for direction and to lead me and guide me. And literally those days that I was there, I was getting direction. I felt like the ancestors were directly speaking to me. There was different things that took place.
Ashe.
Everywhere I went, someone said that they felt like they knew me or saw me before. And no matter where
That's
we went
real.
in Freetown,
Mhm.
someone said that. And
Mm.
I was like, man, Kenya, why they keep saying that? Chief, why they keep saying it? And as I kept saying that, you know, I started realizing like, wow, you know.
Mhm.
And I had an experience, you know, I don't know if many people seen the Antoine Fisher movie.
Yeah, I have.
But I had that experience when he walked in and it was like there was like a spread of food. I know the food was there, but the more important part, I don't know if people noticed, was that the family that was there that welcomed him home
Right.
without even knowing who he was in totality. All they
Mhm.
knew that this young man is our family. Um,
Right.
and I remember being at the village, and when it was my time to talk, I mean, like a like it was just like a overshowering presence that hit me, and I had just to see the elder women and men sitting across from youngest to the eldest to welcome us to the village, and then saying how much they were excited that we came back home and that they welcome us. I mean, I bawled like a baby because I felt like
Oh.
Antoine Fisher in the
Yeah.
movie. I was like,
Yeah.
wow,
Yeah.
is this what he felt?
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
um, and that's what I tell people over here. Like I had an Antoine Fisher moment.
Yeah.
It was real.
Yeah, it's interesting you say the stress free part too, because like the stress
Mhm.
is so different, and you really don't. You can hear about it, but until you go, you really don't see the difference. It's like
Yeah.
literally, I remember we were at, I believe it was Father Elijah's, and it's
Oh
just certain things
yeah.
that we talk about when we together. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like
Right.
yeah,
it's just
Right.
certain things we get into a conversation about, and here in America, you're like looking around you, like you're aware of your surroundings, of who's around you and the different types of who could be around you. And it's not that you're not like that in Africa, but it's just different because everybody look like you. So it's like,
right.
you know what I'm saying? Like you can have
Right.
conversations for real, right?
Yeah,
Like it's not like,
yeah.
whoa.
No.
And I never understood that freedom really
Mhm.
until I felt that. I was just like, oh, whoa, I don't have to look around me. Like everybody's like me. Like we all,
Everybody,
yeah.
everybody. As a matter of fact, when I first got there, the experience that I had, I thought one of the young sisters was, you know, just coming over to say hello.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
she was excited to see my complexion of my skin and
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
smooth it was and my
Yeah.
hair. And I said to Sister Kenya, what's going on? She
Yeah.
said, they love you. I said, wow. So that was my first day experience. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every day
Right.
that I was there, it was this, you know, and the beautiful thing of going was I was able to be in the areas where they quote unquote here in America would call poverty areas, all the way to the state house to
True.
be with the people that
Right.
quote unquote have the money and doing big things.
Mm-hmm.
And I would literally say that they didn't change the way that they act because you have a
Mm-hmm.
position to act like you're high sedity and you can't, nobody can tell you nothing. No, it was an amazing feeling. Welcome everywhere I went, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And I'm excited. I can't wait to return.
Wow. It's
wonderful.
just let me say this too. I never even thought about it like that.
Hmm.
You're right. We were from the grassroots to
Hmm.
the government to people in high positions.
Listen.
And I never thought about
Woo.
it like the code switching. They don't code switch how we do in America.
Mm.
And sometimes people have that little flair about them, but overall, they still act like they act. You know what I'm saying, amongst
Hmm.
themselves, and that's one of the freedoms that we don't really know because we literally, especially in different areas in corporate America, you have
Yeah.
to turn it on or turn it off.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's
And
doses that people can take. Go ahead.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And to hear, this is one thing that got me, and this is why I'm working on my way back. And I don't care how long it takes me to do the different things that's in my heart to do, that Sister Kenya, you guys know that I have in heart to do. When the president said we need y'all to return.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that they came and took ancestors,
Mm-hmm.
but it was for our good when you look
Right.
at it, because
Mm-hmm.
now
Yep.
there is someone able to come back and return with
Yeah.
what it is that they were given. And I don't know if people really look at that like that. Yes, we were our ancestors was taken, brought to America, but we
Mm-hmm.
have an opportunity now to be able to return, as Sister Kenya and Chief has done,
Mm-hmm.
with all
Mm-hmm.
these skills that we have. It's
Yep.
nothing to have a doctor behind my name if I'm not willing to go back to another land that don't have what we have here and be able to pour into the land of our people.
Yes, ma'am.
Ashe. Yeah.
There's nothing,
Ashe.
it means nothing to me if I have a master Felicia behind my name, if I'm not going to be willing to go to a country where there is rape and 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 and
Mm-hmm.
and,
And
and
assault.
beating of women or men, and not
Mm-hmm.
be able to give them something that I have when I come back. How
Yeah.
do I come back to a place but don't offer anything when I return?
Yeah.
You
That's
get
real.
what I'm saying? So I had
Mm-hmm.
no choice. I'm saying, I'm like, man, every day we doing something. I was excited,
Yeah.
Yes.
and but the things we were doing, it was like I was being led by the ancestors and God to be able to help and assist in the mission that Chief and Sister Kenya and we have with GNONA and our different organizations. And that's the main thing, to be able to be a part of something, not only be a part, but solely when you return, when you get that
Yes.
opportunity to come by way of Chief and Sister Kenya, that you don't get over there and embarrass them, but you get over there and actually give back to what we say over here
Mm-hmm.
in America, to our community. No, give back to our
Right.
country
Right.
what it is that we have been afforded to receive here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Mm-hmm.
agree. And one thing I love that you touched on is the opportunity that came out of that sacrifice that our ancestors made, us
Mm,
being
Mm-hmm.
here, is
yes,
that opportunity of us having the technology. We have what they say, we have the technology we can rebuild. It's like that.
yes.
And we
Mm-hmm.
have those skills like you were saying that we can take. And a lot of times people just be like, "Oh, well, I want to do it in America." And I'm like, "Really? You don't have to choose. You can do both. You can bridge that,
Exactly.
and
Mhm.
Yeah.
however, for me, I look at opportunity and I look at where can I get the biggest opportunity. And for me, that bigger opportunity is it is in Africa. It's in Sierra Leone specifically for me.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, it's like I don't mind taking my skills and going over and teaching that to help others build and do their thing, while I'm also building. And it's like I would love to, I would love to do that. My family did it here. I'm a Hudson and in the
Mhm.
Carolinas, and that Hudson area is a lot of my family was their land, and it was they were able to name those places, and it's like
Mhm.
I see the same
Wow.
thing with us being able to do that. How much more empowering that we have ancestors on our roads and on our,
Right.
you know what I mean? We have those names in places, and I feel like we have the opportunity to truly build and to restore and
Yeah.
take it to a whole nother level. And I'm just glad that you mentioned that because oftentimes we don't see that. We don't
Yeah.
see that we
Right.
have this
It's
opportunity.
it's all in how we think.
Yeah,
If we
Mm-hmm.
come through with stinking thinking, then that's how we gonna think. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like if we're going through this mission here and we're just thinking about what they did to us. No, what they did to us was gave us an opportunity.
yeah.
Some people might not like what I'm saying.
But go ahead. I look.
Gave us an opportunity,
Yeah,
if you really dig down to the root of it,
yeah.
now to be able to come back
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and build the country
Yeah,
that they quote unquote want to say that you don't want to go back to. Yes, we do. We do
yeah.
want to go back.
Say that.
We
We
do.
do want to build.
Yeah, say
You don't
that.
have to stay, but go back. Go
Hmm.
back
Mm-hmm.
to the motherland. No matter where you go, Freetown, Sierra Leone, Ghana, wherever you decide to go,
True.
Mm-hmm.
go. But when
Come.
you go,
Mm-hmm.
bring back something. If you're a hairstylist, I like my hair because my hairstylists do a great job. If you're a hairstylist, go and do hair. Do
Yeah.
a couple little girls' hair while you're there.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Make clothes, t-shirts, or design. Do a little something. Do something.
Hmm.
Don't just go and say, "Oh, it was nice." No, but what did you do when you went?
Yeah, exactly. And that's
You get
so
what I'm saying?
important. Mm-hmm.
It's important that we sow back, into the land that the most of our ancestors come from. Because we do want to talk about that. Not everybody came from slavery. We do know that.
Yeah, we understand that.
Some people don't,
And that's real
but
though. But
we do understand that not all of our ancestors was in slavery, and not all of our
Right.
ancestors struggled, but was very they had what word am I looking for?
resources,
They had resources. They was
yep.
kingdomship.
Mm-hmm.
We were
Mm-hmm.
who we yeah,
Yeah.
kings and
Right.
Yeah.
queens.
That was just a
Mm-hmm.
small part of
Yeah. So the
a
thing is,
Our
this is the
transition
history.
beauty
stone.
of being a part of GNONA, being able to teach this information and educate the people. Now, ain't
Exactly.
nobody I can't teach like Chief
Yeah.
and Sister Kenya or Sister Lola, but I can give you what I have
Mm-hmm.
and what
Yes,
I'm
I
learning
say
by way
yes.
of them
Same.
because they are on the ground running. We
Yeah.
had the opportunity to go, Sister Lola,
Yeah.
but we are
True.
able now to come back and say, man, what they showing us, they trying to fool us,
They are.
Mm-hmm.
you
Because when you
know.
go there, all you see in the streets are, you're like, wait a minute, why are
Let me
y'all
say,
here?
entrepreneur,
Right.
you're talking about entrepreneurs, right? All I
Mm-hmm.
seen
Mm-hmm.
walking, no matter where I went, was
Entrepreneurs.
was Africans that were selling something. They all had a
Yep.
way of making their monies or whatever they needed to do, whether it was transportation, baking, selling
Mm-hmm.
goods, clothes. All around us was entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's not uncommon that us as a people
Mm-hmm.
know how to create,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
because we created most things,
Yeah.
right?
Facts.
Yes.
Create, we
Mm-hmm.
create, and we're able to produce different things.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes people get upset because it comes naturally, because
Yes.
it's in our blood. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So to be able to be there and see that, man, I came back like, oh man, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
get in the market. I
Okay.
Got
gotta
to.
they think I'm mobile now. Wait until I get in the market.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it encouraged me to come back to be able to make several different moves in this season.
Yeah.
And that even leads into um making the final decision. Do I go in to run for council or do I just
Right.
keep going? But I
Mm-hmm.
had clear vision when I returned
Right.
back home.
Mm-hmm.
Um and here we are.
Yeah.
Boots
Here we
on the
are.
ground.
Boots on the
Boots on the ground. Yeah.
ground. You know,
You live that
Be
life.
Clean campaign.
Mm-hmm.
We here,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Um we all throughout, so all
Well, I
right.
want to ask my final question, and this one I love so much because it really ties into what you said earlier about the trades and offering your skills and
Mm-hmm.
your knowledge base and everything. So, what is your current passion or business, and how does it benefit Gullah Geechee people or just Black people as a whole?
Um so my current passion, and as I said before, I'm a preacher, so
Yeah.
my current passion is the people, man.
Right.
Um
Mm.
I'm not married, I'm single, don't have no children. So I literally live, I breathe, I sleep this thing.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about the people, the community. What can I do to assist to help the community? And we all know that everybody's not going to agree on the things that we plan and do. But if they only could open up my chest and see my heart, they
Mm-hmm.
will
Mm-hmm.
realize, like, okay, man, maybe I shouldn't have been that hard on
Yeah.
that individual because her heart is really for the
Yeah.
people.
Mm-hmm.
So my passion has always been for the people. We come out of, like I said, my mother, she trained us in home.
Yeah.
My mother, every Saturday we were out cleaning on South George Street. Not South George Street. I'm connecting where we started as far as AmeriCorps, but on Duke Street, Duke,
Mm-hmm.
Duke and South
Mm-hmm.
Street, and we cleaned the streets
Wow.
for a period of time of the morning, And then she was out there ministering on the corner
Mm.
to a loss. You understand?
Wow.
So we come from a home. My mother was a preacher before my birth. And she stopped preaching because she had some difficulties with me as far as health wise. And that's how we got to York. But I
Mm.
did find archives 3 years after my birth. She restarted a church right here on Smith Street in York. And many of the people, uh, the funny thing is, many of the people that I see now, some of the elders, they were a part of or members, or they were coming to my mother's church, which was an in-house church at the time.
Mm.
Because she did have a church out in Philadelphia at one point before she came here as well. And, she came from under the Bishop Brown down in Orangeburg, South Carolina. God rest his
Mm-hmm.
soul. But she was a part of a dynamic organization that planted churches, So it's nothing for you to see a Chief Fode and him to have a passion for people.
Yeah, he got it honest.
It's nothing for you to go through and actually see all of her children having their own separate passion in different ways, because we were raised in a home to know who he was, um, and all those great things, and she, when people say, well, who's your hero, God first, but my mother is who I glean from, and God rest
Mm.
her soul, she's no longer here. But until I take my last breath, I can guarantee that I'll continue to make her proud, and keep
Same
her
here.
legacy going, because um she did a lot of great things. I see him posted Faith
Mm-hmm.
Tabernacle Church. That's what her church was called. When she
Mm.
was a healing and deliverance preacher. I'm a healing and deliverance preacher. I host a conference every year, Fresh Fire Conference and Revival, Healing and Deliverance Conference. Our uncle, Overseer Robert Jameson, we're a full gospel ministry, fivefold, So the thing is, it's in us.
Right.
And no matter what religion you are, we got family members that's Muslim and all types of religions. However, we're
Hebrew.
spiritual.
Yes,
We're
I
a
feel
spiritual family, and we flow and operate through the Spirit of God, because we believe in the one and only true God. So we don't get caught up in the whole religion thing. And that was another great thing when I was in Africa, to see Muslims and Christians going to church together, worshiping together, talking. It was amazing. Now, it was one funny experience that I got to tell you. When I came back home, I said, well, I can never complain about being in church all day, every day, because there was a brother, a preacher, that when we woke up, we heard him. Throughout the day, we heard him. At night, we heard him. So whatever he was praying for, I'm telling you, that 30 days that I was over there, if I ain't come back home, he'll deliver and set free. I don't know why not? Because I'm telling you,
girl
worship was in the community all day long. Okay,
all day.
all day long. But it was it was great. I remember I'm about to tell myself. I said to my brother and my sister-in-law, like, does he ever go to sleep? Literally. So, but it was amazing. This day experience, I seen different things. I seen funerals taking place, and
Mm-hmm.
people. They wasn't in no
Oh man.
big limousines, and everybody you spending $10,000s to bury somebody. They walked to the cemetery, from the church to the cemetery. I was like, what they doing? They said,
Yeah,
oh,
it was
it's a
like a
funeral.
second line. It was like a second line. They were marching in the streets just like they do in Louisiana.
Listen, I'm trying
And
to
I've
tell
been
you.
to a second line,
Yes,
so it
it
was just
reminded me of a Louisiana situation. Okay,
mm-hmm.
where they got
Mm-hmm.
the drums and stuff in the street,
Yeah, the
and the
bands, they was
clergy was
mm-hmm.
fully dressed, garbed, and they're walking. The only car you saw was the van, I believe. It wasn't even a hearse. You feel me? It was a
Mm-hmm.
van with the seats down in the back that had the casket in it, and the people followed the van miles
Mm-hmm.
and miles and miles to bury their loved one.
Mm-hmm.
The dedication, that's called dedication.
Yes.
See, in America, we so spoiled. We got different color caskets. We got all types of limos.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes we can get away from the root from where we come. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so that's one of the things that I wanted to express. Don't forget, never forget where we come and how far we have come as a people and how far we're actually going to go as a people, because great things is coming. And
Yes,
even if we're not
absolutely.
here, generations to come, they will know about GNONA.
Say
They
that,
will
sis.
know about Basani.
Yes. You're
They will
right.
know about Sister Lola.
Mm-hmm.
They will
I
know about Kumo Day, Dr. Felicia. They will know about Brother Reggie and Sister Kenya
shall.
and many more. And I see our cousin keep typing and putting things up. And Baba, if I don't call your name, y'all know y'all out there. And you know, they gonna know if they don't already know right now. People are watching. Continue
Mm-hmm.
doing the work, you know?
Absolutely. Wow, sis. Thank you for that. I mean, yeah, you were here for a month. That month kind of went fast, but then it kind of was like, man, it was just like it seemed like you were here longer, but it went fast. I don't know
It
how
went
to
fast.
explain it because it was so many different experiences. Remember on Lester Peak when we there was a whole revival having a
Yes.
they had a
Yes.
twerking contest. They
Yes. Let's
had
speak.
this is church
And
now.
that's
They would
church.
drink.
You know,
Yeah,
it was church, but they were that's how they fellowship. Nobody was judging
yeah.
nobody and that, but the young people,
Hmm.
listen, when I
The
seen
young,
that, I said, you know what? To see that and how many young people that ministry had,
yes.
they had an understanding of what limits and levels that they could go to.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That was a blessing to see. You know, I actually,
Hmm.
and I'm glad you brought that up because I was able to connect with different preachers, and
Hmm.
different ministries that I would love to when I get back to for us to you know,
Hmm.
go visit them if we can, or at least make a
Right.
connection or invite them to maybe something that we're having when I'm there, maybe like a cookout or something like that. Um,
Right.
you know, on the beach. Because
Hmm.
the beaches are beautiful. You know, y'all
Right.
talk about Myrtle Beach and y'all talking about the beaches
Miami
here.
Beach. Yeah.
Y'all talking about the beaches in America. There's some beautiful beaches in Africa.
Man.
And I'm just talking about one place that I've been. Like, I'm sure there's many more
Hmm.
in
Right.
all the other places, but you know, y'all gotta go, man. You know,
Yeah.
we've been advertising and trying to get people to go, sis. You know that, and people will say,
Right. Of
"Oh,
course.
I want to go," but then when it's time to put monies up or things like that,
Yeah. You
they
know
try
how
to
I
back
go.
down. But I'm a type person like this. Whether you go or not, I travels alone.
I'm going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I've lived in
Hmm.
Italy alone, so I ain't afraid to travel to another country and be all right
Right.
alone. Right.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's the thing. Some people are, they say they want to go, they say they want to do, but fear steps in, um,
Yeah.
and reservation, like, oh, what's going to happen? What if this happens? But
Hmm.
I challenge people just to let go and believe that when you go, that you're going to have an amazing experience, like I did, man. Like I know the ancestors was in charge. Way in the White House with my sister Kenya, you
Right. Oh
know,
my.
my chief.
That
Uh,
was random.
Chief gave up his seat for his baby sister
Yeah, he
so that I
did.
could have the opportunity to experience
Hmm.
President um
Metabill.
Metabu. Took
Hmm.
pictures, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful, you know. And I'm looking forward to going to see President Meta what's his name again? Because you know I messed it up.
Julius Metabill.
Julius Metabu. And going back to
The
uh
what was the country lodge?
the
The
country line,
president? No, president's lodge.
President's Lodge.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm going to go see the sister that I'm still waiting to get a hold of me from the
Okay.
Board of Tourism.
Yeah.
Let her know that word is bond.
Say
And
that.
I'm still holding them to their word.
Say that. Hmm. You already know how that
We going
go.
it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah. So I have a few questions for you, my sister. So
Okay.
I wanted to know because, like your brother, you both have a background in community service work,
Mhm.
and you kind of touched on that a bit early in the conversation. Can you really talk about what inspired you to even lead the path that you're on today? And is that common in your family? I mean, you kind of touched on it, but
Yeah.
kind of tell me about the type of family you come from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it is common. And I did tap on it. Our late mother, Catherine Dennis Holmes. Um, it's funny because I we were just kind of talking about this a while back, how it's not common for the children to follow the mother to different jobs where she's working, they will want to work too. So the thing is, we got a little choked up because I had to think about that thing. The thing is, my mother, like we said, she taught us in-house. And even to what I'm doing right now as far as the market, she taught us that. That was her business. And she had us out there with our peddler's license and things like that at 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, we come from a family that is community oriented. Most of our bloodline on my mother's side that I can backdate to, and my biological father's side, and Chief's father's side, are clergy. You know, so it's in us to serve our community. But tapping back into my mother being a clergy member, and having a short period of time where she fell back, um, as they were quote unquote call backslid, but was totally healed, delivered, set free without any AAU, or what is it? Not AAU, AA,
AA.
um,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
any rehab. So when we seen that, we realized, wow, if mom has been healed and now she's trying to
Mhm.
do better, then we can do what she do.
Right.
It's a role model of a parent, even though that
Mhm.
some people have a different story. This is our story. We looked at our mother. We seen she got back on her feet. She started working with AmeriCorps. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back a little bit. She worked at Hardee's restaurant on Mountain Rose Avenue,
Mhm.
where she made homemade biscuits, them South Carolina biscuits from scratch,
Okay.
and had everybody from across the city wanting to come in the morning to purchase biscuits. There was
Wow.
a funeral director named Mr. Danner that would come every morning just for those biscuits. God rest his soul. However, we worked
Wow.
at Hardee's with her, and I'm talking about, when I say we, I'm talking about me, Chief, and one other sibling. We worked at Hardee's with her. Now watch this, Hardee's. She was a manager. We worked under our mother
Yeah,
as a
he told me
manager. We was
about
her employee.
yeah.
Okay. Then she went, after she said, okay, I have enough with Hardee's. She went and got in a program called AmeriCorps. When mom left
Mm.
Hardee's, we all left Hardee's. But guess where we ended up? In AmeriCorps, which then AmeriCorps, if you know anything about it, is a program that serves community,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So mom, all of us did that. Me, Chief, and our elder brother, one of our elder brothers, Edgar Williams. Okay, he's a pastor now. We followed mom to AmeriCorps. When we were done in AmeriCorps, we followed mom down to down to be downtown ambassadors. Look at
Mm.
look at from a restaurant to AmeriCorps now, to learn to serve community a little bit more than what she taught us. Now to going down serving Downtown Inc. as an ambassador to serve the local businesses within our downtown area in our community. Okay.
Wow.
So when people come at me and say, oh, she's new kid on the block, she hasn't been around here, she don't know what she's talking. Yeah, okay. Well, let me just give you a little bit about our resume, family resume of what we
Mhm.
have done with this within this community of the city of York.
Mhm.
After we did that, now Chief didn't come with us with a downtown ambassador. However, he was with us along the way, all the way to that point. Okay. And even to say, ministry wise, Chief is we know my brother is Muslim. That doesn't change my love for him, because we have Muslim family members. We have an understanding of who we are. I'm a Christian, but I'm spiritual, right? I don't really play too much with the whole religion thing. All that religion stuff and all of that, and the politics and things. I'm spiritual led. I ask God to lead and guide me and direct me. And I sit and listen for direction. So we, as a bloodline, as my cousin is saying, we were born to serve. We're servants
Mm-hmm.
of this kingdom. What is the kingdom? The people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what we do. We were birthed to be servants, whether or not we
Right.
want it to be or not. This is what we do,
Right.
and
That's our path.
it's hard for us not to do it. When we're not doing it, we feel like
Mm-hmm.
something's not right.
Yeah.
So when I see different
Mm-hmm.
things going on, and I do pay attention, and I do apologize that I'm not able to be involved as much as I want to be yet, but I am watching. And I want to say this one thing. When I see my brother go through, when Chief goes through, I'm watching, and I go through and I go into prayer for the fact we have an understanding that if the buzzards ain't coming at us, then we ain't doing nothing. But when they
Mm-hmm.
coming at us, that means that we're getting ready to go to another plateau and another level. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why I always tell him, do not be distracted. And we're always encouraging one another. Don't be distracted. Keep pressing and
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing. Because that's the thing about knowing who you are. When you know
Exactly.
who you
Say
are,
that.
then you don't struggle as much when people begin to attack. Why? Because you
Mm-hmm.
have foundation. And without a foundation, what happens?
Crumble.
Everything will
Mm-hmm.
crumble. But when you have
Mm-hmm.
foundation, when your foundation is sure, then you're going to
Mm-hmm.
continue to build and build and build and build. So to the soothsayers and whomever it else might be that tries to come and attack the mission, we just got to stay focused and
Mm-hmm.
remember that they have to come. If they don't come, that means we ain't impacting something along the way we're not doing. But when they begin to keep coming, we're doing the right thing. Trust and believe that.
Mm-hmm. Ashe.
We're doing the right thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I share that.
just because he's way in Africa don't mean he don't got people way over here.
I
So
would
we're
Right.
say
watching.
that, sis.
We're watching.
Right.
And our ancestors is watching too. And so I
Yes.
warn people, be
Ashe.
very careful. Be very careful of what you do. Because you and be very careful of who talks you into doing things. Because it
Mm-hmm.
might not even be you that want to do it, but somebody amongst you don't have the balls enough to do it. So they talk you into doing it. So they put you in harm's way of the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And so for some people that went over your head. But many of you may understand what I'm saying. But yeah. So I I'm nice, but I'm not nice. Okay? Especially when it comes to my family and the people.
Right.
I'm very serious. I'm very serious about what I do. My passion is everything that you see me doing. As I just told somebody, everything that I'm doing is my passion. And I am in a great place in my life right now, currently. Um,
Mm.
and um, I do not regret anything that I'm doing right now. And
Say
as I
that,
always
sis.
tell them, the only thing that I have not done yet is marry and have children. However, if that's not for me, then I will continue to serve. And even if it is for me, I will continue to serve. And that's why I think I'm single, because I have to make sure that I end up with the right person that understands my mission. Because if I end up
Mm-hmm.
with somebody that don't understand the mission, they'll try to cut it off. And I can't
Right.
afford to have anybody cut off what we've been ordained to do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't afford that.
Wow.
And I'm
Say
okay.
that, sis.
I'm okay. Like I said, I'm in a place where I'm okay. If it happens, all glory. If it doesn't, all glory. You understand? So that's where I'm at.
Wow. Sis, you just said a mouthful. A lot of people haven't made it there. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, it takes a certain. it takes a certain type of person to have commitment like that and to actually know what their calling is. A lot of
Mhm.
people are confused about what, they need to be doing, but you guys had a mother that led the way for y'all. She was
Mhm.
a exemplary or, person who was actually putting in the work, and y'all was able to see it. Like you said, even the business that you do, the vending and things, well, you get that from your mom. Y'all were
Mhm.
out there at 3, 4, 5 years old.
Yeah.
It was one of the things Chief said when they because you'll see some kids out here selling some stuff all the time. You'll see some kids selling, and so a lot of times people frown on that. They say, kids shouldn't be out there selling. First of all, let me just tell you this. Kids need to work. I mean, they need to understand this
Listen.
stuff. They don't need to be adults trying to understand business. If you're doing business as a kid, and when I tell you these kids be selling, they be knowing business, they be knowing how to count their money, they be understanding their profits. And I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year olds. So when people, some of the people, diaspora people came here, and sometimes they'd be like, "Man, these kids don't need to be out here." Chief was like, "Hey, I was out here. My mama had us out here. I mean, what's the difference? This is Africa." You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? But a lot of people don't look at it like that. A lot of people think that it's like child labor. You know what
Mm-mm.
I'm saying? Back in the days when it wasn't all this consumerism, there was
Mhm.
farming. Whole families had their
Farming.
roles and tasks and responsibilities within the farm to make it function. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Going to school wasn't just enough. This is
Right.
new for this like last couple generations. This is some new stuff for us. You know what I'm saying? But the African way, when you come to Africa, you see how Africans do it. You be
Oh
like,
yeah.
okay,
They
this
get
is why
down.
our family like this. So you have an
Yes.
understanding. So yeah, I wanted to also go into the type of international organizing that you're involved in. So just tell us a bit about that, and then also tell us about the initiatives that you were involved in, because you touched on it a tidge bit, but you didn't really get into it. And I
Right.
would like for you to get into it so people can understand what
You
it
sound
is
like my
that you
sister in
did.
Philly. She say I'm so humble. I really never get into it deep. I just kind of put it a little bit
Yeah,
out
you
there.
just she give you a little tidge, a little
Yeah, give you a
sprinkle.
little tidbit. Um. So and help me because I don't want to. I'll be saying things wrong
Okay,
sometimes. But
so okay, look, I'll just say this.
yes.
I've been telling sis, when I met, before I even met sis, Chief was like, "Hey, my sister, she's a karate kid." Like that's the type of stuff. Like she's a karate kid. That's who she is. She got a karate school, this, and that. So when the new administration got elected into the office here, and the first lady created an initiative that was
Yes.
called Hands Off Our Girls, I was like, "Oh, where my sister at?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Where Karate Kid at?" So if you could just tell us, first of all, I'll say Karate Kid, but tell us who you are.
So I am I am a fifth degree black belt. I am the proud owner and CEO of Felicia's Taekwondo. I
Hmm.
started martial arts in house. My brother Doug Williams, which studied under our grandmaster Gary Hopkins, taught him. He began to teach us for the
Hmm.
season that we were down south with him in Greenville, South Carolina, and Easley, South Carolina. We had every day we had a time frame where we were training, whether we
Mm.
wanted to or not. Okay, so and I was the girl in between three boys.
Boys, yep.
Okay, so for those individuals, and let me make this clear, that say, "Oh, we don't know if she gay, lesbian, or bisexual." Well, I'm straight. I like men. Okay, so I'm just going to throw that out
Say
there.
that
I'm just a strong black
for the
woman that
record.
grew up amongst young kings.
Masculine, yeah,
Okay, and they
exactly.
and them kings were and are and I say were because my brother Paul
It's late,
passed,
yeah.
but the late Paul Gibson Jr. passed. But I grew up amongst them, and I had no choice but to be uh, as tough as I was, okay, because they
Mhm.
wasn't having it no
Mhm.
other way.
Say
Um,
that.
but so Felicia's Taekwondo was birthed in 2001 and went through a couple different ups and downs and things like that. And then had the awesome opportunity once I returned back from Italy to, try to relaunch again. Um, but we're in York, Pennsylvania, which is about a 5 mile radius city. So you have the seasons where it's up and down, up and down. But I've been grateful to meet some great individuals, and they are part of the YCEA, York County Economic Alliance. Um, and they were able to help me get my business on track so that now
Mm.
I'm able to flow and operate um the way that I am doing now, and was able to also come over to Africa and
Mhm.
be able to launch with Sister Kenya and Chief's connection of the organization, that I was able to launch a men's and men and young
Mhm.
boys self defense training, and then one day we dedicated to the young women and women, and they're waiting because they're waiting for me to return.
Mhm.
um, but that's, like Sister Kenya said, hands off our girls. That's something that we are looking as well to um, be involved with and everything like that. So yes, I've done that. So I've been teaching martial arts. I became a black belt, got my first degree black belt at the age of 12 years old.
Wow.
Um, and I've fought in tournaments actually, and I'm not boasting, but I am. I've fought in tournaments, and have never lost a fight.
What? You like Floyd
So when I
Mayweather?
say that, I look at that in
Wow.
every angle of life. Um, I'm a type person, my mother taught us, when you start something, you don't quit. So my
Mhm.
thing is, if people don't understand my drive, be very
Right.
careful, because I've been raised to, if you start something, I ain't gonna quit. So the thing is, be very careful what you just choose to start.
Right.
And so I that's what I've been doing as far as the martial arts. I've traveled. I fought the Russians. The Russians were here. I had an invitation to go to Russia to spar as well. I mean, to fight in the
Wow.
tournament. But my mom was like, um, "Oh, Sister Lola, I think says she gotta go in a minute." Um, I don't know if
Okay.
she did, but
Okay, sis.
yeah, so thanks, sis, man. Before you go off, it was a pleasure and an opportunity, man, to have you on here, and y'all to have me on here. I hope we can do this again, because there's way too much stuff to talk about in one
Absolutely.
interview. Um,
Thank
but
you. Yes,
yeah,
definitely. I appreciate it. And I really enjoy gleaning from your wisdom and listening to everything. So, I mean, this is excellent. And I really will enjoy coming back on and speaking and
just
everything.
let me know. Just let me know. Yeah, but just to pick back up about the martial arts. So I've traveled. Grandmaster Gary Hopkins was our grandmaster, the late Grandmaster Gary Hopkins. Um, the instructors that taught me, and I always give them their props, regardless of where the relationship and stuff is now. As far as me being in different organizations and shifting
Mhm.
into some federations and things like that, just making better moves for the business and my program. But the the late Grandmaster Gary Hopkins is who taught my brother Doug, and also taught myself as I got older. His brother Joe Hopkins um, is another instructor that taught me. Um, Greg Wilson, I see you, Sensei. I see you, Grandmaster. He also um, he also, you know, uh, had a big part in that. And the late Bobby Addison, man, those three guys outside of Grandmaster Gary have really made me, as far as the martial art world, who I am, as far as, coming up and wanting to start my own school. That was, you know, as I'm gonna name it again, Grandmaster Gary, the late Grandmaster Gary Hopkins, which was the owner and founder of Hopkins Taekwondo. Joe Hopkins, Lauren Hopkins, um, Greg Wilson, who you see is over here putting little comments. He's my grandmaster and still active with my program. And then the late Bobby Addison, man, that guy right there has really done a lot of things, and the training that these 3 guys or 4 guys put me through really made me who I am, and have the love for the martial arts as well. So the thing is, so that's the martial art piece. What else you got, sis?
Hmm. Well, as far I just want to even get into the training because first and foremost, it was only supposed to be for the women first and
Mhm.
foremost,
Yes, yes,
but we
yes.
had a protest.
They had a whole protest out there. I'm talking about protest.
Oh
No, not just for the women.
yeah.
It was funny. Go ahead and talk about it, sis.
So the brothers was like, "Look, you have to," because it was only supposed to be for women. So she had to do an additional day to compensate the brothers. And we even had one of the youngest ones, like 11 or 12. He was out there getting it in.
Yeah.
It was amazing. I'll just tell you that. So we had the first day for the women, the second day for the men, and man, it was hilarious.
It was dark outside and they ain't want to quit.
They didn't want to quit.
Listen, and I'm telling you, if anybody ever been to Africa, you know that heat is real, and then naturally you going to sweat. So I'm over there in a karate uniform
In a whole
and
uniform.
soak.
Oh
I'm
my
trying to tell you, soaking
God.
wet. I had to go back and get the uniform washed and hung up for the next day. But it was
Right.
an awesome opportunity. And the great thing was my karate studio here and my students, I was able to teach them from Zoom while I was there. And they were able to hear about the experience as well, and actually be able to see some things. So they were also excited about that as well. Um, but yeah, we had a whole protest. The young men, they would
Yeah, they
not
protest.
they would not allow me to leave Africa unless I also had
Hmm.
a training for them.
For
So what
them.
we did was we turned it into a 2-day seminar,
Right.
which was women's self defense, um, uh, and a men's self defense course. So that
Right.
was awesome. So I have students in Africa, y'all. Just in case you didn't know. Just
Hmm.
I don't want you to think that I just post stuff or say, uh, you know, one school, 3 locations,
Right.
2 countries. No, I have students in Africa, and
Hmm.
they keep in contact when they can. And as a matter of fact, when December got near, many of them were sending messages by way of WhatsApp saying, "Master,
Uh-huh.
are you coming, Master?
Are you coming?
Master, when are you
Yeah.
coming?" And not only that, they had already prepared about, I think it was about how many communities the sister was talking about me going to.
About like 6 different communities. It was a full house. I
Yeah,
mean, we had more than 25, 30 people each
yeah, it was good.
section. It
It
was
was good.
really good. I also want to talk about the fact that the women, they really, really, really need this training.
Yes.
And you left, sis, was it like a Saturday? When did you leave? What day was it?
Well, I had to
Oh
leave a
yeah,
couple
because
days early because
early,
um
yeah,
the airlines was
messed up
messing
her
with
flight.
tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but what happened was we had our annual general meeting like that following Monday,
Hmm.
and in the meeting, one of the sisters stood up.
I was supposed to
And,
be there for that,
yeah,
and I had
yeah,
to
you were
leave.
supposed to be there for that
Yeah.
exactly. And so one of the sisters stood up and was like, I just wanted to like let all of you know that someone tried to attack me the other day, and Sister Master Felicia, her training saved my life. She was like, he
Oh my
tried to come
goodness.
at me. She said she would put the move on him, slammed him down. She was
Wow.
like, she couldn't even believe it herself. And she said the guy ran. He
Now you
couldn't
just reminded
believe.
me. So we did 3 different things. We had the
So,
woman, the
okay.
young one, and then we had with the young sisters a
Right.
separate situation where we went above the
Oh, yeah, yeah. In the meeting.
yes, we did a
Yeah.
meeting and we did a whole
Yeah. That was a
training and
whole
discussion.
mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
did 3 days of training. Absolutely, you're right.
Right. Right.
Wow.
And
So wow, I didn't know that. I'm grateful that she paid
Yeah,
attention to what
me
she learned in that
too.
one day and
And
was
and
able
she
to.
used it instantly. It wasn't even a week that had passed
Wow.
since you actually trained them up with these
Mm,
techniques, and they were really interested, y'all. I mean, they were staying after, it was making sure, Master Felicia was making sure that they were doing it proper. Chief was
yes.
out there helping them with their forms and
Yes.
everything, so it was just dynamic, and I was just amazed. I mean, everybody gave Master Felicia a standing ovation. Like, man, like, this sister just beat this guy up. He ran from her, and this is the kind of stuff that we need. These are the type of programs that we need
Yeah.
everywhere, even here in Africa. But here in Africa, they're most vulnerable,
Hmm.
because there isn't a lot of different resources and things that's out there to help sisters with domestic violence. There isn't a lot of social welfare. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different agencies here, but it's only so much that they can do. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They don't have any kind of state support. So when we come back and extend the skills that we gained over in the United States, that might it might be a whole lot of people there that's doing karate schools and this, but where they at in Africa, where they at in Sierra Leone, you
Right.
know? So that's when we say, the international organizations extend, create the partnerships so that you can come back
Hmm.
and extend your whatever it is that you can give, whatever it is. Next
Yeah.
month we're going to be hosting our medical mission trip. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I'm really looking forward to that because we have medical professionals that's going to be coming and extending their medical resources to Sierra Leone. For those of
Hmm.
you who don't know, Sierra Leone only have about 350 to 400 doctors. With the nurses, is less than 1,000 medical professionals
Mm.
to take care of 8 million people. Impossible.
Wow.
They say that there is more doctors in Washington D.C. from Sierra Leone, or a first generation American from Sierra Leone
Hmm.
in America, in that little region, that DMV region, than there is in this whole country.
Wow.
So that just goes to say a lot about the state of the healthcare system here. Sierra
Hmm.
Leone has just everything. I mean, you can kind of look at the statistics for everything.
Hmm.
There's a reason why the first lady focused on the hands off our girls. There is a
Right.
reason,
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And when I return, I definitely wanted to do a few days with the young ladies. Um, you know, so yeah, I definitely want to be able to do that. So
mhm,
that they get a little bit more of the training that I couldn't give them when I was there because we only did the one day. But I'm grateful and honored to hear that the sister took what I had given and not only played around with it, but took it seriously, and she was able to save her life by way of what was taught in that those few hours. So
yes,
I would love when I get back, God willing, that if she is somewhere where you guys know where she's at or able to locate her, I would love to get with her, and you know just hear more about her
absolutely.
experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, wow, sis. I mean, it's been an amazing time. I loved when you were here.
Yeah,
Um, we just you my sister anyways, but it was just a whole different vibe having another, some other female energy in the house. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And then be able to like bounce, off of each other. Tell me about your outfit. It looks really Africanish.
Hey, you like this? You like this
It's
outfit?
very nice. Yes.
So this is a original piece that
Yes.
Dr.
You
Fee
design.
designed.
Mm-hmm.
So I all the African pieces that you see me wear here in York, Pennsylvania, you guys, um, that don't look like some of the common things that you see other people wearing. Um, it was designed by way of me and created over in Sierra Leone, um,
Mm-hmm.
and by two different seamstress. So I
Right.
will give them both a shout out for creating my clothes and having me look real nice and sharp here in America.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to creating some other things when I come back, um,
Mhm.
and get and being able to sew into them again, with their business. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so yeah, this is African. This came from
Yes.
Africa, and uh it comes from Africana. We call it, what's the business name?
Africana. Yeah,
Africana.
Africana.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, so that's the business that is being developed. And when it's ready, we'll let you guys know. That's another piece that's going to be developed from Sierra Leone, all the way to York, Pennsylvania. But these pieces that you see me wearing is just to give you a little sample of what um, was created
Mhm.
by yours truly, Dr. Felicia O.A.
Yes. So, Chief asked the question, and it really goes into my last question about some of the future plans that you have with the organizations, the
Okay.
Nona, Gullah Leone Union, which embodies all of the organizations,
Yes.
and the Be Clean campaign. Can you tell us a bit about the Be Clean campaign? Because you
Yeah.
ain't new to Be Clean campaign.
No,
For
no,
those who, okay.
I'm not new to Be Clean campaign, and some people here in York, Pennsylvania, also know about it and have been a part of it. Um, but there's some great things coming down the pipeline for that. I actually spoke to someone yesterday, and also to them again today, and also spoke with you and Chief last evening as well. So the Be Clean campaign is under Basani. Um, and Be Clean came from, it was launched over in Sierra Leone. Let me say that, by Chief and Sister Kenya, when they had the mudslide that took place. Help me with the dates. I think it was August 14th of
2017.
2017, which ended up
Mm-hmm.
being our mother's date of death in
Mm-hmm.
2014. So Chief and Sister Kenya had just moved, I think, a week before the
Yep.
mudslide
Mhm.
from that area,
Yep,
and
we were
and, was,
just
and,
there.
and God saved them. But they were very intricate in the whole Be Clean. They created Be Clean, the Be Clean campaign, from that mudslide taking place and
Mm-hmm.
them being in Africa, and the people not knowing too much about sanitation,
Mm-hmm.
um, and how to keep things clean so that people didn't get sick and die from the dead bodies and things that they were
Yeah,
discovering.
the cholera. Yeah, they were really
Yeah.
concerned about the cholera outbreak due
Yes, the
to
cholera
so
outbreak.
many bodies being
Bodies.
washed into. Yeah, so
Right.
that was one of the main issues. Health,
Hmm.
health.
Health.
So yeah. Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, that goes back to what our mother had us doing as
Exactly.
young
Say
people.
that.
She had
Mm-hmm.
us cleaning the neighborhood and keeping it clean on Saturdays or whichever day of the week it might have been. She was a block leader. So, the people that keep
Mm-hmm.
their light on the porch, most times that signifies that they're a block leader, or they're watching what's going on in their community, to make sure that the community stays safe. I am
Mm-hmm.
one that keeps my light on my porch. It's one, because I was raised that way. Two, because yes, I am a resident that is going to pay attention to what happens in my community.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in 2018, it was, right? Or was it 19? The
Was
first
it
one we did here.
19? No, 2019.
2019, we
Mm-hmm.
did we dedicated the Be Clean, the first Be Clean
Mm-hmm.
of York, Pennsylvania, to our mother, our hero, whether or not she's yours or not, but she's our hero. And we went to the location where we used to do most of the cleaning and stuff in our teenage years, because we cleaned all over the city. However, South Street and Duke Street on the corner there is where our home was. So we dedicated,
Mm-hmm.
me and Chief and the Basani organization and Sister Kenya, we all agreed that it would be fitting that it started by way of how my mother taught us. That's how Chief and Sister Kenya was able to implement the Be Clean campaign for a crisis, y'all, that
Mm-hmm.
took place in Sierra Leone for thousands of people.
Right.
And now the government has backed them to where now they do this thing not just once a year, but multiple times throughout the year. And so we launched it here 2019. He want to say 2018, 2019 on in honor of my mother. It's an article and we have pictures and all that stuff to back that up. And we also did it again in 2019, right?
No, 2020.
2020. But we had the opportunity not only to connect Sierra Leone and
Right.
Pennsylvania,
It was
we were
5
able to connect
different.
Louisiana, New York, Virginia, right? Did I miss
No,
some?
DC. It was DC.
DC. So
Yeah. So
we had,
York.
yes, the day that we had the Be Clean campaign in 2020 before, that was in October before I left to go to Africa in December. We
Yeah.
had 4 or 5 different states that we collab with for the Be Clean campaign. And on the same day at different times, because in Africa, they're ahead of us. But
Right.
here in America, in Louisiana, they were behind us or above us. I can't remember which one. But we all did the Be Clean campaign on the same day, had pictures and media footage and all those things.
Right.
Even though I believe that mine was kind of sabotaged a little bit by a video that went out, we still accomplished the mission.
We did say
We
that.
still accomplished the mission. And so now there's some great things that's coming down the pipeline, and some partnerships that's about to happen. A
Okay.
partnership that is about to happen here in the city of York. And we will, as Basani, Chief Fode, and Sister Kenya, we will be giving you more information as it comes. But we
Right.
have decided to partner with an organization here in York City to be able to do some greater things with Basani in the Be Clean campaign. So those of you that do follow the Be Clean, York City Be Clean, or Basani, or GNONA, please keep your eyes and ears open. I am the local president. It is Chief Ode and Sister Kenya's organization. So this is family organization. So this is the thing we want you also to understand. These organizations are family oriented and built.
Yep.
But we have many members.
Yep.
All across the world.
Yep.
All across the world. So please, get involved. Maybe you didn't know these things, and as my family, they're trying to get me to express the things I do a little bit more, because I do a lot and I am engaged a lot. Our local ministry is also getting ready to do some things on the street, and there we will be talking with them also about partnering with the Be Clean.
Okay, that's beautiful.
All right. So that's going to be great. But our church is very supportive of the different things that I do as president here for the international organizations and local. So we're excited about that.
Absolutely. I want to also add that the concept of Be Clean isn't just for the cleanliness of your environment.
Right.
The concept, there is a spiritual or moral aspect of the Be Clean
Total body.
campaign.
Yes.
Yes, total mind, body, spirit. You have to have here they have a saying, they call it bad ops. It means bad heart, evil, wicked type of people. You have to have a clean heart. You have to be mindful of people and how you treat people and how you treat your environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's an embodiment of being clean, just not physically, but mentally and spiritually. So
yes,
that is right on time. And when we first started doing our Be Clean campaign here, we used to do it on I believe it was the last Sunday of every month. We were doing monthly cleanups, servicing 25,000 people in that one market, service 3 to 4 different communities, which held about at least 25,000 people. So, just being able to extend, that was one of the most successful programs. I can't say that because our agriculture program is successful too, but where the
you guys do
people,
farming and all that stuff. So that's
we do our farming and things like that, and that's something that you guys can implement. Taking plots of areas. A lot of the with the Be Clean campaign, what we want tend to do, especially in urban areas, is to clean lots that need attention and turn them
Mm-hmm.
into community gardens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go out there with your children or get some schools involved, teach them some farming and some planting. We need to get back to that because the food
Right.
quality around the world is,
Yeah.
it's
I
not
went
up to
somewhere
par.
today. I went somewhere today and asked how much a chicken wing was. They told me one chicken wing was $2.50. And I
Two
told the
dollars
lady,
and 50 cents.
I told the lady, well, I'll go with the chicken strips and the French fries because that meal and the biscuit and that meal is going to be cheaper than them 4 wings that I wanted. So this is why agriculture is is important because
Mm-hmm.
the cost of food and everything else is going up,
It's yep.
and it's
Mm-hmm.
going up quickly, and
It is.
and ultimately, if people ain't paying attention, we're gonna have a major famine in the
Yep.
land, and those of us or those people that do not have the understanding or knowledge of agriculture
Agriculture. Mm-hmm.
is going to be in a bad place and in a bad position. But this is why it's important, man, to pay attention to.
Absolutely. So Chief Mansa Fode Ajamu, he said, how can GNONA start educating the community about the Gullah Geechee heritage of many of the local African American families of York? We have another York sister that's on here too, so maybe
Mhm.
y'all can connect.
Who is that?
That's in the comment. That's Sister Nana. Sister
Okay.
Nana Akosa. She,
Okay.
so in the comments, so she's from York too. She's currently in Harrisburg, so it wouldn't be nothing for y'all to connect.
Yeah, have her.
But
Hopefully, she's still listening. She can connect with me via Facebook and send me a DM, and we can try
okay,
to put something together or figure something out.
and
You
she's a
know.
GNONA member.
Okay, great, great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
then we need to
Geechee.
connect.
She
You're only
Geechee.
25 miles up the road. We should already connect it.
See, right.
Yeah. So yeah, we
So
got to make that
yeah,
happen. See, that's what I'm saying. We have members all over the place, and some of them
that's
is
true.
as close as 25 miles, you know.
Okay.
So we got to make sure that we connect and start making moves even in
Yeah,
Harrisburg,
exactly.
Lancaster, York, surrounding areas. I know we got some people in Maryland and DC area.
Yep,
So
we
we just
do.
have to we just gotta you know, I'm trying to
Yep,
make
we
time. I
do.
know my time is stretched, but if we plan ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
we'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to do some things.
Right. So we have a current project that we're launching. It's called the Gullah Geechee Heritage Project.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the areas that we're going to be implementing this project is York, Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us about the Gullah Geechee community there? Because a lot of people are under the impression that if you aren't born, you already know where I'm going with this. So if
Yeah.
you aren't born within the Gullah Geechee federal Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor, that
Right.
you are not a Gullah Geechee. But
Right. So
tell us about the Gullah Geechee community
so
in
York
in
York
York.
City York City is actually full of Gullah Geechees, whether or not they know they are Gullah Geechee or not. Many
Okay.
people are here from Bamberg, Orangeburg, Denmark, Columbia, Savannah, different places, mainly Bamberg and Orangeburg. The thing is, the misconception is that they don't understand that Bamberg and Orangeburg is the same place.
Say
So
that,
once they have the
girl.
understanding and knowledge that Bamberg and Orangeburg is the same place, and that's why many of us that are here in York are related,
Yeah,
whether or
same
not they want
families.
to, well, whether or not they want to confess to being the related individual or relatives of most of the people that they came up here
Mm,
with, or
yeah.
knew that they were here and then came from South up to York. They
Mm-hmm.
migrated from South Carolina up to York, Pennsylvania. And many people have family members that have never left York to go back down south to meet relatives. So,
Mm,
so the thing is, people have the misconception that Gullah Geechee is something bad, as I said earlier. How can
right.
my grandmother and my mother and my great grandmother and great great grandmother be Gullah Geechee, and I'm in York, Pennsylvania, and I say that I'm not a Gullah Geechee? You don't know who you are.
Say
You have
that,
a
sis.
misconception that you're somebody
Mm-hmm.
that you're not. How
Right.
can I say my grandfather is a Gullah Geechee?
Right. But
and
you
his
aren't.
father
But you
was
aren't.
Gullah, and his
Right.
father was a
Father
Gullah
was
Geechee,
the say
and he
that
came
sis.
from the low country and corridor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm here to tell you, you are Gullah. You are Gullah Geechee.
Mm-hmm. You
So the thing
sure
is, the prayerfully with the Gullah Geechee heritage that we're looking to bring to York. We got a good brother here, Michael Breland, and you have Samantha Dorm and different people that do know that they're Gullah Geechees.
okay.
So the good thing is there is a community here that are now or have been or have known who they are,
Yeah,
and
they're
so
self-aware.
it should
Mm-hmm.
help when we do look to plan some different things, maybe to pull on some of
Mm-hmm.
those resources of individuals that can help also to educate
Yes.
on this end. Um, but yeah, being a Gullah Geechee is not bad. And I've heard people say, "Oh, them Gullahs is ignorant. Them Gullahs." Well, no, that's a misconception. That's a
Mm-hmm.
misconception. Like, no, not
Right.
all.
A
Let
lot
me
of
say
the
that.
things, yeah,
Maybe some, but not all.
right.
You
A
understand?
lot
So,
of what I understand about them trying to downplay who Gullah Geechee people are is using the fact that they talk Creole as a means to demean them by saying that they're ignorant or they're speaking broken English when Creole is a full-fledged language.
right.
A full fledged
And
they're
so let's
speaking a
talk
whole nother
about that.
language.
So let's talk
Okay, go
about that.
ahead.
Sierra Leone, that's what they speak.
Yep.
So
Mm-hmm.
how can I be from America?
Right.
My mom's from America. Her
Mm-hmm.
mom was from America. Her mom
Mom
and
is from
her
America.
mom and her mom was
Mm-hmm.
from America. And then it crosses back over, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
because we come from Bamalikian tribe, the Cameroonians as well
Mm-hmm.
on our grandmother's side. So we have an understanding that we are Bamalikian, coming from Cameroon, and that we are also Mandinkas, right? Coming
Mm-hmm.
from Sierra Leone. So we know who we are. That's going back to foundation,
Right.
right?
Say that.
So it's important that we know these things, whether
Right.
or not we want to accept them. It's who we are,
Right.
you know. So, but
And that's their own and that's what we're trying to really combat with the Gullah Geechee Heritage Project.
I'm sorry, I
So
kind of lost my train of thought. But the Creole. So
okay.
I don't speak fluent Creole, but
Mm-hmm.
in Sierra Leone, when I got there, that's what they were speaking, Creole. My brother speaks
Yeah.
Creole
Yeah.
fluently, fluently. If he get on here right now and speak something, I'm gonna understand what he said. I might not be able to repeat it back in Creole, but
Right.
because it's in my bloodline and something's familiar to me about it, I understood it when I was there. So
Right.
I didn't have a problem. I understood them to the
Right.
point where when I was talking to them, they started understanding me, and then we started having a greater understanding because now they talk Creole, which I can understand. But now
Right.
I'm speaking English, what they're learning and understanding our terms as well. So it was an awesome experience. Since you see the chat,
Yeah, I do.
okay.
Um, so I guess if anybody else have any questions for Sister or Dr.
Hopefully we can do a part
Councilwoman,
two. Hopefully we can do
yeah,
a
well, we
part
have
two
to
or a
get you
part three
back
because it's a lot
on.
more that we didn't discuss.
Yeah, it
But
is. And I've
yeah,
enjoyed the
people need to
conversation,
know.
sis.
Yeah,
This is my first time actually interviewing you.
it
Like,
is.
yeah, I never interviewed you before, and it's been real smooth, So I just really appreciate your wisdom, and I know you, so I mean,
I think we did something else all together as the
yeah, like
Nona.
collectively. Yeah, we did some stuff collectively, but
But that was for the
never.
organization.
Yeah, exactly. So anybody else have any questions before I let Sister, or she got so many titles, y'all.
Oh, good.
Councilwoman, master, doctor, minister, some of everything. So yeah, I really
I'm
enjoyed the
just a servant.
conversation,
I'm
sis.
just serving.
Say that right,
That's all I
servant.
am.
That's
The titles in
exactly.
school. But if
Yeah.
you don't, if with the title, if you
Mhm.
got the title but don't put your feet to the
Right.
ground, boots on the ground,
Mm-hmm.
I'm nothing but a servant. That's all.
Say that,
I don't
sis.
care. Honestly, I really don't care nothing about these titles. I care
Mm-hmm.
more so about the work and impact that I am having within my community,
Ashe.
within people's lives.
Yes. And Ashe. And so, you know what, sis? Before you go, I want to ask you this because you talked about the service work that you do and the impact that you want to have. A lot of people aren't don't think like that. A lot of people are very self-centered and only think about themselves at that moment or what they can gain from it without um, returning, or we call it reciprocity.
Hmm.
What would you say about those people, and how can those people be more community centered? And I'll just tell you this, just to talk about it. I just learned my one of my close friends since high school. Last time I talked to her was 2019. Just found out she just passed away 2 weeks ago.
Oh man.
I mean, this perfectly healthy, one of my more serious friends. You know,
Hmm.
she was the one who I see making plans and executing. You know, a lot of the friends that I had was just regular type of people who
Hmm.
wasn't really focused on like that type of stuff, just living day to day. But she
Hmm.
was a different type of friend. And
Right.
I learned a lot from her, especially her outlook on certain things and her ethics, you
Hmm.
know, when it came to hard work and things like that. But I thought of her instantly, like, oh my God, it just made me think like I mean, the older we get, the shorter time we got left on this earth, regardless of how we look at it. We don't
Hmm.
know when our day is gonna be.
We
And
don't.
when you pass away, you don't take nothing with you.
Mm-mm.
It's so much you
Nothing
can
at
leave
all.
on this earth. A lot of times, what you leave on this earth, a lot of people fight. That cause fights and splits in the family.
Hmm.
But what you can bank on, and what my husband say all the time, is that social capital, the impact you left with people. When people think of you after you're dead and gone,
Hmm.
what would they say about you? What would they say about your legacy? How would your grandchildren think about you looking back, hindsight? What you do today
Hmm.
matters. People think that it don't matter. And I think that if people understood the social capital of just being, you know, doing what's right and doing what's needed, because somebody got to do it. If everybody was just self-centered and self-focused, nobody would be giving back. So there are people out there like you, your brother, myself, you know, that's really like looking to make a change for people. And in our organization, we always say human capital. That's what we invest in, human capital. You know, that's what we really try to focus on, because it takes the people to make the change.
Hmm.
Without money, money is just a tool, you know. So
Hmm.
just for a message for those out there who, you know, don't have that spirit. What would you say would be the takeaway from changing that mind? Because it's really a mindset. It is really a mindset. You have to really change and empathize with people and put yourself in people's position to really kind of you know, make that do that work, because you know sometimes it can be rewarding, sometimes it can't. But a lot of people don't wouldn't even think about doing this type of stuff for real.
Right. So, um, I go back to one of my sisters on my father's side, um, Lisa, Dr. Lisa R. Dennis, um, and they call me her mini me because I look just like her.
Yeah, you do.
Many people say, which is my father's daughter and my sister Wendy. I always have great conversations with my older sisters, and one of the things my sister Lisa said to me years ago, and I don't know if she ever even knows this. She said to me, because I used to say to her, all I want to do is just build ministry. I just want to build ministry. And she said, well, it's good to build ministry, but you do know that the church is going to be there when you come back from college. The church is going to be there when you come back if you decide to go to the military. She had that conversation with me years ago, and she said, but you do need money
Hmm.
to be able to build properly when you're building ministry. And I don't even know if she ever, I don't know if she's listening or what, but, or if she will ever hear this, but she said those things to me, and I carry that on until this day. You know, that's why when people say to me, well, why do you always work so hard? Well, I understand
Mm.
the vision that I have. I understand the
Right.
mission that I have, and I understand the vision and mission that I have. The ultimate objective of that is that I have to have something in order to be able to sow into somebody, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to make a great impact, whether it's on their life, within their organization, within their ministry, whatever it is, within the schools. You know, I have to have something that I can give. It's okay to give my time. It's okay to give my ideas. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to give my vision or what I think and all those different things. But how can I give to be able to uplift and build
Right.
whomever it is? And so um, I'm a woman of faith, and there's not too many things that I don't think about or God brings to my mind that I don't think about, begin to pray, seek his face, write the vision, make it plain, and then accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
Because first, you got to hear him. Once you hear him, you have to write it down so that you can make it plain, whether it's for you to run with it or you to give it to somebody else to run with it. So
Mm-hmm.
that's very important, you know. And so I would say one thing that I had to learn to do was um, become stress free on a daily basis. Learn how
Mm.
to turn on and turn off. Self care, meaning when
Mm-hmm.
because I hold a lot of hats. When I'm at the school, when I'm working, I'm dealing with those students and I'm dealing with those situations. But when I walk out that door, I always ask God to release me from the stress or strain that might have come from that, because now I have to go forward in my day to another task. And as I go to this next task, that I'm not heavy laden and weighed down from the task that I just came from. So when I started doing that, probably about 33, at 33 years old, um, people ask me all the time, how do you do it? Seeking God's face in prayer, understanding that I might not be here tomorrow or 10 minutes from now, but I'm here to be a servant and to make the greatest impact that I could ever make with the life that God gave me. So I would encourage people, I would
I
encourage
say.
people to respect time. And this year, somebody asked me, what's your resolution? My resolution is my time.
Mm.
Don't waste my time.
Say
Don't waste
that,
the
sis.
time. Don't waste the time that God has afforded me to have, because the time that He has afforded me to have is so that I can be a servant unto the people. And if you're wasting my time, then you're wasting time for someone that can be impacted by the time
Ex-
that has been
Say
afforded
that.
to me. So
Right.
I'm on this
Mm.
don't waste my time kick this year.
Yeah.
And if you have in mind to waste it and I get wind of it, then you won't have to cut it off, because I cut it off myself.
I say
So
that. Sis,
so
I mean, man, that was
yeah,
that's heavy because we've
yeah,
experienced that. We've experienced a lot of people coming
yeah.
around us to cipher the work that we do so that they can look a certain kind of way. You know, it's very opportunistic. And
Hmm.
then you know you'll be thinking that they're on that same path as you, but then you find out like, oh my God, you
Yeah,
just did all that to just
listen,
thinking.
thinking is it's venomous.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have stinking thinking, you become poisonous, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And anything that is poison, 9 times out of 10 will die.
Mm-hmm.
So, in order for your mission not to be venomous or become poison, you have to renew that mind. I don't
Say
care how many
that, sis.
times in a day. I don't care how
Mm-hmm.
many times in a day that you renew that mind. You have to renew your mind so that you can stay on course for whatever your mission is. Each one of us have a different mission.
Mm-hmm.
It's all in what we do with the mission that we have.
Right.
Are we going to start the mission but never complete it? Are we going to
Mm-hmm.
start the mission and go halfway? Are we going to start the mission and just throw the towel, throw in the towel?
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to start the mission and pray to God that we complete it when it's our time to go?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're only here for a short period of time.
We
I don't,
are.
I don't care that I'm 41 years old. That is nothing in the eyesight of God.
Mm-hmm.
That's no
Say
time
that,
at
sis.
all when he's looking at it.
Right. Right.
But as far as man, the human being, we look at it as years. No, we really don't have much time. And so my
We
thing
don't.
is time is of essence.
Yes.
And I want to maximize every second, every millisecond, all the way down to the lowest of my time. I want to maximize it. I want to maximize it. So that's what I would encourage somebody to focus more on their time,
Yes.
because we have borrowed time. The time we
Yep.
have is
We
not
are.
ours.
Yep.
We have
Mm-mm.
borrowed time to complete a work. And if
Right.
you don't complete the work, you just waste God's time.
Yeah. And you don't want to be a waste.
You don't
I
want to
mean,
be
you
a
don't want
waste.
to leave. You don't want to leave this realm, and people looked at you like you just BS'd around all this time. You could
Yeah.
have been really doing some impactful things to change some lives and leave
Yep.
some legacies, but it was really how you chose to use your time and
How you
your
chose to live. How
thinking.
you chose
Yep,
to
how
use
you
your
chose to
time.
live. Yep,
Did you waste your
yep,
time or did you maximize your time?
right.
Waste
Mhm.
or maximize?
Yeah. Mhm.
Did you waste a little bit? Maybe. All of us
Yeah.
have.
I have. Yeah.
We all have.
Mhm.
But once you get to a level where you understand, I don't have any more time to waste.
Yes.
Your your lens become a little clearer.
Focus.
Your
Mhm.
your your ear gates are a little
Mhm.
bit more clear, and you're not confused by the commotion that you see nor hear,
Right.
or by the things that end up in our mind that we think.
Mhm. Right.
And that's why I'm excited about our organizations, because we deal with the total mind, body, and soul.
Mhm.
And so
Ashe.
so the thing is, we encourage individuals to connect with us, to get with us,
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
become members, whether it's GNONA, Basani, and the
Yeah,
list goes on.
myself. Yeah. Mhm.
Get with us, because we are building the work. God is moving, and we are on a mission, and the mission is being
Ashe.
completed day by day, minute by minute, and
Mhm.
second by second. So get with us.
Right.
If you did not know, I was involved in all these things. For the people that might
Right.
be here in York, Pennsylvania watching, this is just a short version of
Mhm.
what all we do, and how plugged in and connected um, Dr. Dennis is really connected in our city, within the different states, and internationally.
Mhm.
So thank you, sis,
Thank you too.
again.
I mean,
And
yeah.
so make sure Chief knows that I said thank him, for you guys affording
Absolutely.
me the opportunity as your local president for two of our organizations.
Yes,
Um, here, right
absolutely.
in the city of York. Why? Because this is our home. This is where we lived, and I'm grateful that I'm here and still able to do the work as a president here, with our organizations, as we also have different presidents um, um, around the United States
Mhm.
and internationally as well.
Absolutely, sis. So I just want to thank you again for just taking the invitation to come on. You know, I've been wanting to interview you, so this is a perfect platform because it
We might have
gave
to
us
do
a
a little
chance.
show. We might have to do like a whole
Yeah,
nother
we
little
have
show, just to
to.
kind of,
We have to.
or something. I
But
don't
I'm
know.
gonna
We gotta
talk to
figure.
you.
We'll figure it out. But I don't
Right.
really do these interviews. I'll be scared and nervous.
Really,
But
girl, you a natural.
yeah, I do. But this, I'm grateful. I'm honored. you know, I'm grateful for the two of you. You guys are doing a major work over
Thank
there.
you, sis.
Continue doing what you're doing. Don't get discouraged. I know it's times you do. Um,
Yeah,
but remember what I said earlier. If somebody ain't if 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 something ain't pecking at you, that means
exactly.
something ain't right.
Right,
You ain't on
right. You ain't
course.
doing what you're supposed to
So
do.
when you start
Right.
feeling that peck, that means okay, we're about to shift, we're
Right.
about to move, and that's always a
Exactly.
good thing, you know. So, um, yeah, yeah.
So, last question before you go.
All right,
We do have some tours coming up. When you
okay.
gonna be back here? So we have a tour for those of you who are in the audience. We do have a Twin City tour that we have coming up the end of April, early May, which will be 7 days in Sierra Leone and then 7 days in Liberia. If you're not familiar, both of those countries, our ancestors founded the capital cities. 230 years for Sierra Leone and 200 years for Liberia. So
Mm.
we have that tour coming up, and then we do have the citizenship conferment tour. The dates have not officially been announced yet. However, it'll be about maybe the end of April. So we do have those two tours coming up. When do you plan on coming back, sis?
Well, you know, I was talking to Chief Gus the other day, so I'm trying to, you know, my goal is always December's, but I'm working on trying to maybe get back mid-year somehow.
Okay.
Right now. So who
Oh
knows? You might
man,
see
sis,
me
we
within the
ready
next
for you.
few months or a little longer. But
Right. And you know
we
how you do. You will just
shake and
up
move.
and be like, yeah, you be like, hey, I'm coming.
Yeah. So that's, you know, the goal is hopefully I can try to come spend some time with you guys before that
Mhm.
rain season hits too hard.
Yeah, okay.
So that's my
Okay.
goal right now. We can talk more about the timing of it because
Okay, no problem.
you know the seriousness of rain season. And that's actually for the Be Clean campaign was birthed out of a
Exactly.
rain season
Of the yep, it's
time
true.
because you know it was raining so hard, the
Mm-hmm.
mud slid down off of the mountain and killed people and
Right.
destroyed a whole city, a
Whole
whole
community.
community,
Mm-hmm.
destroyed businesses and the whole nine.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
definitely want to come when it's not doing too much of that, and
Right.
be able to still move around and do what I would love
Mm-hmm.
to do with the organization and with the two of you, just on a personal level as family.
Right.
You know, because I have to have some downtime with family
Of
since I don't
course.
see you often. But you already know we always at work, so
Right.
I'm
Even when
sure
we
we'll have
in
a
the
great
house,
time and
we
plus
at
we working
work.
at the same time. Huh?
I said, even at home, we working.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So again, sis, thank you for coming, and we definitely gonna be doing something next time. So I'm gonna be hitting you up. So again, thank everyone out there for joining us for another week. Do you have
Yes.
any last words if people want to contact you, Councilwoman? And congratulations on that. You had just been sworn in. What was it, last month?
Yeah, January 4th, I was sworn in as York City Council member for the city of York, Pennsylvania. Yes.
Yes.
So yes, if anybody would wish to follow me, I am currently on Facebook as
Hmm.
Dr. Felicia O.A. Dennis. You can look me up that way. Um, Also, as far as the martial arts business,
Hmm.
Felicia's Taekwondo has a page also on Facebook. We also have a website, which is www.felicia's TKO. TKO stands for total knockout,
Knockout.
as we
Uh-huh.
heard that the young
Yeah,
lady
you
in Africa had
undefeated.
to knock somebody out, and only had
Right.
a couple hours of training. So
Yeah.
yeah, so you can catch me on Facebook. I also have a business in the market, which is Thou Art and Natural Product, which Africana uh, jewelry and clothing will eventually be there. Right now, we got some of the jewelry that we brought back from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So if you haven't been to the market and haven't been able to look at some of those pieces, they're original pieces from Freetown, Sierra Leone, West Africa. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook currently right now, and on the website for the Taekwondo. Um, but I'm in York, Pennsylvania. I know everybody. My family knows everybody. So it's not too hard for you to find me if you do need me.
Right,
All right.
right.
Yep.
And once again, everyone, thanks for joining us. You can go to our website if you are looking to join a good organization. You can go ahead and go to gullahleone.org. That's for our Gullah Geechee people, our Sierra Leonean people.
Yes.
You can go ahead and become a member there. Then we also have our Black Star Action Network International, which is our Basani.org organization. You can go over there and sign up as well. Thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right, peace and love.
Peace
Thanks
and
again, sis.
blessings.
Oh
One
yeah,
fambo.
New Roots, one
One fambo.
fambo.